Hello, hello. So, today, let's see what I can get done. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Alrighty. Well, I don't know what I'm doing today. Probably going to be something I've worked on before. I kind of finished um, the Santa Krampus thing. They're pretty much done. I've gotten all our little bits and bobs, I think, finished, and it could probably use some highlighting, some touch up. It did actually finally get to play in our campaign, so he's kind of done for that. So now he's just going to be mostly display. I've kind of got him set up. There is something that goes back here. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to fill that in or actually put something on him. I don't know. The thing that goes there, I lost the hand to the kid that was on there, broke. This thing is just so fragile, and the hand vanished. I don't know where it broke to, when it broke. I don't know anything about that. It just happened, and now it's gone. This is the little thing that goes on his back. It's got the little children. Can't touch anything that looks thin. So this would normally be on his back with these children on the back. I'm not a fan of the way the color that this came out. So I don't know if I would darken it up, what I want to do with it, but ultimately I'd have to paint these kids on there and then glue it on him. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do now that hand's broken. So, and then there's always the one, which is just a weird thing. It doesn't have the children in it. It's just got the thing, which is really weird to me because it's like, what would anybody even think that is if they didn't have the, I don't know, I don't even know where it is. But anyhow, so yeah, I got to put him away so that I don't touch anything. The candle's fragile, the tongue's fragile. I've glued the tongue and the candle twice now. Um, yeah, he's just a break ready to happen. Don't touch anything. Don't let the candle touch anything. Don't let the well, the tongue can't touch anything unless you touch it with something. But anyway, so he's in the case. Alexa, turn on dynamic duo. So the teeth thing I'm working on, did I even give her a name yet? I think I did. Excellent. not actually, it's the name my son gave her. And so I'm trying to get her kind of colored up. She needs a little bit more highlights and brightness, some sparklies. She's also a dark character, but I want her to be a little bit more vividly dark, you know? Bring out the color. Bring out the color in her skin. And her bits and bobs. I know, I've been saying that word twice today. It's not like I say it all the time, but I've said it now more today than I have in all the time of history. I could have been watching too much BBC. Much PBS, you know. Public Broadcasting System. PBS is not the same as BritBox, though, is it? It tends to get a lot of British shows, but I don't think it's actually a British channel. Just reviewing what I've got here. Then I'm going to try to get these things I missed before. So my son has been watching, what do you call it, Severance. And he's been telling us, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. So my wife started watching it. And we started watching it once a long time ago, but we just didn't get into it right away. We only watched a couple episodes, and it looked like she wasn't interested, but Kaden really was pushing on it, and so she started watching it again. We weren't sure what we thought of it. I don't know what she's thinking. What she's thinking as far as, you know, what she's starting to like it or what. But he's just like, he says, "Oh, it's the greatest thing, man. It's just, you just got to watch it. It's more and more." So if you're looking for something that a 21-year-old thinks is him, and well, I guess his brother thinks it's pretty good too. So they've been watching. They got him hooked on it actually. So actually my second oldest got my youngest hooked on this show. And what do I think of it? I can't even tell you. I don't know what my thoughts on it are. I haven't watched it again. I haven't started watching it again, so I haven't formed an opinion. But I just remember thinking, this is a really slow show. And it's kind of weird. So, but it's been getting good reviews. People say it's good, and I guess you just got to give it enough of a chance. Maybe it is good. I don't know. So, I haven't painted in a while. I think I painted, one day last week for one lunch session. So I've been kind of slacking. I gotta get back on it. Besides, it's more therapeutic. My head's been hurting today. I need something to change the direction of my brain's flow. Is that a thing? Sometimes you just gotta regroup, you know? Sometimes I feel like I've been, maybe even, this may seem weird, but I'm thinking maybe I've been doing too much brain work. Chess, I've been playing a lot of chess, a lot of Marvel Snap. These things are all kind of thinky. And I mean, a lot, like spending hours a day doing these things, and it's distracting from my work and distracting from my other activities. And I'm like, I don't know. Just wondering if I need to come up with something a little bit more. I don't want to say productive, because it's not to say those things aren't productive. They're good for your brain to a point, right? You gotta do the things that help you to sharpen the mind, right? But on the same chord, or on the same thread, you gotta learn to give your brain a break. I think maybe I've been overdoing it. Not to say this doesn't use your brain, but this is a different part of the brain, right? I mean, I think it's just like chest muscles versus back muscles, right? Different part of your brain gets taxed at different paces. So if you're doing a lot of artistic work, you need to give that artistic side of your brain a rest every now and then. Just let your mind relax. You don't have to go. Sometimes it's like you'll be more productive in the future if you just stop. Now, I changed the metal parts of her armor from just silver to black bordered silver, and I'm hoping that works out okay. Only thing is, I think the clothes do not contrast well enough with her very black borders. Thing is, if you want to go to a lighter color off of black, you almost have to like go to a really, really light color. Like go to a gray and then come back to the color you want, because black isn't going to let you go to brown very easily. It's not like it's a quick and easy transition, right? Because it's really going to just go, no, I think I'm just going to stay. Your brown's going to be, but I want to go here. Nope, sorry, I think I'm just going to stay black. And I think that these contrast paints struggle with that even more. Trying to get back in the back sides of this person's. These are like leather wraps around her arm. I'm trying to turn them brown because I don't want them to be the same color as her clothes. But it's to say I'm moderately succeeding. It's not a guarantee that I'm going to get this exactly the way I want it, but hopefully it'll be better. And I'm going to have to lighten it up too, because it's like, I don't know how. And then I have to go over. I have to use a darker brown because the contrast paint that I'm using is way too thin, and it's going to be a year's worth of effort. Uh, Trying to think of what shows I've watched recently. I've been trying to. What shows do I want to get into? I don't watch shows enough anymore. I've been trying. I mean, I have all kinds of shows I've started. What did I just recently start? Um, let's see. I've started watching Reacher. Watched like 2 episodes or 1 episode. I don't know. I am kind of waiting for the next Invincibles. Well, Invincible episodes. And it's just been a lot of starting shows and not finishing anything. Don't know if I'm going upstairs to watch TV tonight or not. My wife and I have been doing like counseling, just trying to improve our relationship. But the thing is, frustrating thing about it is, it seems like well, here it is. I feel like we're in worse place every time we finish a session, simply because it's like there's every time there's the counselor keeps bringing up things that get us angry. We're like, where my thought is that really the goal here? I mean, are we supposed to be like rehashing and making ourselves more angry at things? I mean, isn't the goal to get it so that you can move on past those things that were frustrating you? It's like, why do we want to keep bringing it up? I'm like, oh, here we go. Go make everybody mad again. And she does every time. She gets us all mad. Not even always at each other. I mean, kinda. I mean, we're mad that hey, oh yeah, that thing did make me mad. But then it's kind of like I feel guilty. I don't want to be mad about that anymore. I mean, that's the past. Why would I want to bring that up again? But oh, I got to bring it up. And then my wife, I love her with all my heart, but she's more emotional than me, so these things really bug her. So she'll come out of there steaming at me. I'm like, okay, I think I'll just keep my head low. Don't say nothing anymore. This night's gonna go down the tubes. It's gonna be an unhappy night, and then over the next couple of weeks, hopefully, we'll be better or we'll be good till the next counseling session, and then she'll be mad again. getting to that point where I'm just like, okay, I'm ready. Let the anger flow. It's gonna flow. And there's nothing I can do about it. Such is the way of counseling, I guess. You know what? I think I may have just painted stents. You know, those things that come off the printer. Cause they're not on either one of the other. Only on that one. They're really obvious there, and they're only on that side. They don't even go around. So I can't figure out if they're supposed to be there. Yeah, you know what? I might just have to cut those off. They look awkward. They're sitting there and they're attached to the wrong parts of the clothes. I feel like maybe they're not supposed to be. Thing is, like I said, these pieces are so fragile. Cutting anything off of them is like surgery. And if you cut wrong, all kinds of parts go flying. Like she's just glued onto this base by a toe, so I gotta be careful. I don't want to do it so much that I'm. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna have to paint over. See, and then when it pops off, hey Mike, how you going? This is actually an Etsy model. It's actually part of a circus. What do they call it? Circus tieflings or circus or fiend circus or something like that. Circus performers. Uh, so there's like this little. I actually bought two of them. There's five of them, and one is like the circus master, and he's like a little halfling devil guy, almost like a gnome. They're all tieflings, I think, but yeah, it's an Etsy like group of minis, and so she was. I got her because she looked like a pretty cool female monk, so I thought I could use her as a female monk for a tiefling, and then the other one I got just because he seemed like just a evil little halfling, a good bad guy halfling kind of dude, or tiefling. I guess he could just be a tiefling. He could probably be a tiefling bard because he kind of looks like a circus master. So I think he could play a pretty good tiefling bard, which would be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't know that I've seen a lot of tiefling bards, but actually, you know, on Baldur's Gate 3, I created a um, was it a tiefling bard? What did I create? Oh no, I think I created a tiefling warlock. Never mind. Never mind. I thought I made him a war. I actually bought a dragonborn that I was thinking of. A Dragonborn bard. I don't have a lot of bards, so I decided I needed a couple. I'll go on to Etsy every now and then and shop around for one or two specific minis. You know, something specific for like a game that we're playing. One of the campaign characters I need, and then and then in order to not pay shipping, I'll try to see if one of the sites that has that mini that I'm looking for has enough other minis I can get to. So a lot of times these guys are like add-ons. And actually, my son decided to use this character temporarily, at least, for for the campaign we're in, because his main guy got captured. I think he thought he was dead, and I told him, no, he just got captured. But you're gonna need a character in the meantime, because his friends didn't go save him right away. Well, it just didn't really play into that part of the campaign, right? So. And I'm trying to fix this because this stupid little piece was driving me nuts. The problem was either that these didn't belong there, or they were way out of place. They didn't look right, and I thought, well, I'm taking them off, and then I'm just gonna paint over this. It was bugging me. I get like that. I'll look at something, I'll go, that piece don't look like it belongs there. I'm cutting it off. I'll drill holes and. Like sometimes I'll see like with injection molded minis, sometimes I'll see spots where I feel like it should go through to space. So I get my little drill out and I'll drill out the little hole that belongs, like say for example, like if the spot between her leg here wasn't open to the outside like it should be, I would drill straight through to it. And I did that with a Mickey mini I had that was all of the little holes that were in this wand were just, they had plastic in them. And I go, nah, I drilled them all out because I didn't want it to look like that. I wanted it to actually look like it was supposed to. So I cut all the bits and pieces out. Looks a lot better now. Just got to be careful because a lot of these Etsy minis are really fragile. So you got to hold on to the most solid part of the mini and be careful when you're cutting it so you don't knock something or cut something off that you want to. And I've done that a couple times. It's like I did that with the horn on her head. There was a little stent that went from one horn to the next, and I was like, I got to cut that out. So I tried to cut it out, and I popped the horn broke, and it went flying. And luckily I found it and was able to glue it back on. I mean, after I got the stent off of it, of course, but... yeah, I guess I'm kind of anal that way. Can't help but, I can't stare at it in the magnifying glass all this time painting it and just see that flaw. It's just like, no, can't do it. Sometimes I'll like ignore it for a while and then I'm like, nah. Sometimes I don't even notice it right away until I start painting. Then you start putting the paint on and you're like, I don't know what that is. And then I try to explain it to myself. That belongs there because it's this or that. And then eventually I'm like, no, it doesn't. You're rationalizing the creation of that nonsense. It's probably just a stint. It was probably there to support it. And I just use this mini is just for, like I said, it's for a D&D campaign that I'm running. My son uses her for his backup character. He had a druid that got captured when he jumped onto a getaway thing that basically a devil was flying away on, and he thought he was going to try to finish the guy off, and he was not. He jumped on there and the guy just whack knocked him out cold and took him with him. He was now a prisoner. And it was that. It's like, I'm not sure why you jumped onto there. The guy didn't even show. I mean, he wasn't like, they had barely hit him and he wasn't even all that wounded. And this was a pretty powerful character who just didn't want to waste his time with them. He was actually he wasn't running away so much as leaving because he just didn't, their party was just beneath him. He he just I don't have time for this. I'm out of here. And he just left. But he thought, well, I'm not letting him leave. And the master of cruelties or whatever he was, just kind of whacked him a couple times, put him out cold, and took him away. All right. Maybe that way. I'll just take you prisoner. And now he had to use a new character. It's because he's taken away, like he's in another place, so they have to go find him. Well, they know kind of where he's at. They think they do anyway, but it's not. It just wasn't someplace they could go at the moment, so they have to come up with a plan for that. And meanwhile, they're dealing with other problems. They've kind of got it. I kind of have them on a pretty busy campaign. All kinds of things that they're doing. They just got done fighting Krampus, which was supposed to happen back in December, but we missed a lot of our campaign sessions, and took a while before they were able. Before they even bothered to try to deal with this guy, Mr. Krampus. They didn't know it was Krampus. They knew it was a guy dealing in basically child labor. He was capturing children and selling them off to people to serve as their slaves, and they were surprisingly slow to respond to that problem. I actually thought they would just go, "Hey, we got to deal with this," and yeah, it was not exactly how they went about it. They were more like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing. We got to go. We should probably do that at some point." They finally saw this one witch was dragging some kids across the desert that she had rented to fix her house. That she basically rented them. She wasn't buying them because she didn't have any use for kids permanently, but she needed them to help her build her place back up. And and that triggered them. They're like, "Oh, we can't let her do that." It's like, really? That's what did it? You actually needed to see it for yourself. It wasn't enough to just know it was happening. They had to see it. They go, "Oh yeah, we got to stop that." And then they finally went to go deal with it. It's like, wow, good to know. Guys, respond according to visual cues. I know, I know. Hopefully, I was successful at changing the game title on Twitch. I don't know. I tried to change it with the command on my chat so that people didn't think I was playing Marvel Snap. Because a lot of time I've been playing Marvel Snap a lot lately, and I've had it set to Marvel Snap, but I had to change it to art because that's what I'm doing. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I do tend to be a little lower energy while doing this because it's a focus thing. hard to get too worked up, too excited when you're doing painting because your brain is focusing on that. So if you're used to my higher energy or slightly, I don't know, I'm not that high energy, I don't think, but I'm higher energy when I play video games. What time is it? 6:20. It's up. Probably about 15 minutes or so. I'll probably head up for a bit. It's just been one of those days where I'm just feeling like, you know, you have those days at work where you're just like, everything's kind of eh. You're always like, I don't really want to do this. I think I'm a little low on actual, well, I don't know where my actual red is on here. They all start to get watery, and then the colors separate, and I don't know anymore what I'm dealing with. It's kind of like, what is that? Plus, I gotta probably put another coat of yellow in her eyes because it's not popping enough for me. You can't really even see her eyes. I mean, you can with light on her face, but that's about it. If you got light on her face, she actually looks pretty good if you got light on her face, but otherwise she just got a really dark face. So I don't know, maybe I just leave her alone because she at least looks good in one state. So her hair it's brown with red in it. So I probably need to come up with a more highlighty way to do this. Right now I'm trying to see if I can highlight it with orange to get the redness to come out, but I may just have to go with something a little bit more obvious, like a bright orange, and just put highlights on it, because the minorness of this orange is just too subdued. It's not making her hair fiery looking. I think I want more fiery. The top actually looks decent, actually. Has kind of a more fiery appearance, so I have to pull out the old massage gun and fix my shoulder, man. My neck. It's just really stiff today. The massage gun's pretty good though. Have you ever had one? Have you used one of those? The massage guns? They're awesome, man. They will beat your shoulder to tenderize. They'll tenderize your shoulders. If they're stiff and tight, just get that massage gun going and it will beat your shoulders into submission. My shoulders have been crying out lately. Help! I'm sore. Actually, they're not sore so much as tight. I went swimming today. I was going to swim 1,500 meters, but I lost my mojo. I was in the middle of it, and about 550 meters in, I'm like, nah, I have too much to do today. Couldn't get going. I was getting frustrated with myself because I'm really just not a great swimmer. I mean, I think my form is fine. I just apparently have zero endurance, and it was frustrating me. I can only do like 4 laps without taking breaks. You know, four lengths of the pool, and it was just getting on my nerves. I need to get it up. I know I need to do it more. I mean, I've done 1,500 meters. The last several times I've gone this month, I did 1,500 meters. Just wasn't up to it today, I guess. Sometimes you just gotta like admit defeat, you know? And the thing is, the pool, much like the treadmill, is it makes it too easy to retreat, too easy to quit. Like if you go running, and you go running outside, you get 3 miles away from home. You can't just go, yeah, I'm done. It's like, no, you're not. you got 3 miles to go home. Even if you're planning 10 and you stop at 3, you still got to run 3 home. You can't like you're getting 6 in. If you're planning 5 and you go 2.5 away from home, you're doing 2.5 going home. You're getting the 5 in, like it or not. So that's the thing. Most people, when they do want to quit, it's usually about halfway. So if you're outside, you're gonna run. That's all there is to it. But if you're inside on a treadmill and you say, "Nah," you stop the treadmill and get off. You're done. Nothing to stop you. So I should probably paint her staff. What time is it? Got a little bit of time. All right, so let's go. Let's try and do something with her staff. Let's see what I got. Let's go with. I like Wasteland Brown, but that's more of a leather. Unless. I'm not going to do it on all of it. I think I'm going to actually have these outside areas be kind of metallic. I'm going to have this area and this area be wooden. Like the whole thing's wooden, but those outside parts are like it's coated in like it's got metal designs on it. That's what I'm going for. So let's try this. So my sons play a lot of Pokemon, and they've been playing that Pal World. And it's just like I thought, it's pretty much Pokemon with guns. It's just like I've been told. It's not just what I thought. That's what it says. I haven't played Pal World yet. I've actually thought about getting into it. It's not that expensive, too. It's actually relatively cheap, which makes it a little bit more tempting. But the thing is, I play too many games. Yes, I know. Video gamers are like, what? There's such thing as too much? Well, there is when you do everything else. Do chess and paint and play board games and do all kinds of stuff. Somebody, why don't you just focus on one thing? It's not because I don't like one thing. I like many things. I'm not a focus on one thing kind of guy. This is why I've been good at getting good at a lot of things, but not good at being really good at anything. I've always been pretty successful. Like I'm a decent chess player. I'm a pretty good chess player. 13 to 1400 depending on the week rating. And decent skier, decent bowler, decent tennis player. But I'm not like a great at any of them. I can compete with a lot of, people call themselves tennis players or, decent bowlers. I got a 200 plus average, or at least, I did. And last time I went, I bowled, I think, a 180, 190. But it's just, I wanted to go pro at one time, actually, with bowling. And then chess, again, was always pretty good at it. Tennis, I had I was like a 3.0, 3.5 rated tennis player. I used to like skiing. I play board games a lot. I tend to win more often than not. And yeah, just a little bit of everything, and that's just kind of always been my MO. And I always thought, if I could pick one of these and would have just focused at it, I might have been able to be actually kind of competitive in this stuff. But alas, I did not, and thus I am not. But it's fun. It's nice to be able to just do stuff, It's an okay basketball player. I could shoot okay for an average guy. Average guy skills. But I wasn't an embarrassment on the court, Same with even volleyball. I thought I always did okay with volleyball too. Beach volleyball. I used to love playing beach volleyball. It's fun because you could dive and you can really get into it. And once you get going, just decently good at a lot of different things, but never great. So you play against, a competitive, excellent player, and they blow me away. It doesn't matter what it is. No matter what it is. I bowled in a lot of bowling tournaments, and I cashed a couple of times, but never to the point where I was like one of the top people. Cashing is just, being in the top 20 or something. And these are small tournaments, like I said, I wanted to do like a pro bowler one time, but I found that bowling just for practice is expensive. And it used to be, for me, when I was doing that, it used to be decently cheap for the most part. There was actually a place around here that you could go, it was like 99 cents a game if you went like at 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock at night, I'd pack up my bowling balls and head to the bowling alley for like an hour and a half on a couple nights a week. And I would just bowl like 10 games because it's just me, so it would go pretty fast. And being a decent bowler, a lot of strikes and spares, and got myself going pretty good, and I was really doing that. But then that went away. They stopped doing that, and I was like, okay, I'll have to just find other times you could rent lanes for $10 or whatever, and so I did that for a while when they did that. Then that got expensive. And they stopped doing that. The games, finding good play times to bowl for cheap got harder and harder, and life kind of took over. And that was that. So now I just go. I bowl when I can, bowl for fun. Nonetheless, and just to kind of bring me back around to what I was talking about, that's why I just don't do one thing. Don't focus. Can't play one video game. I have two going on. Some people have like a lot of video games going. My sons have a ton of video games going, but they just basically, when they're not playing Pokemon, they're playing video games. That's their thing. So they've got a better focus than me. So they can play one game a lot, and they'll get, they'll get good at them. For a long time, they used to play LOL a ton. I don't know if they still play that, but they play all kinds of different things now. I don't think they do LOL as much. Of course, could be wrong. Trying to figure out how to get this without getting the gold on her hair. So this I'm using as a contrast paint. It's called Hoplite Gold. And getting it into those hard to reach spots is pretty hard. Oops, I think I touched her hair. See? Now her hair is going to have Hoplite Gold in it. And one of the things you can do, if you do it quickly enough, if you rinse your brush and you kind of dab off on the extra, then you touch the spots that you got, you could probably get some of that off. Just make sure you don't have any paint on your brush. Just leave it when it's wet and it'll kind of pull off those things that you touched. But you got to do it really quick, because if it's a thin enough setting, it'll dry almost instantly. It'll dry really fast, and your whole effort to get rid of it will fade away into the wild blue yonder. So I have to figure out how to make that lighter now. Well, she's completely covered, but she is totally missing a lot of her highlights right now. A lot of her highlights. She's missing all of her highlights. She does not have any. I think I might let's just be consistent. She's got gold up there. Let's not go with too many different things. We'll just put gold on her little medallion here. Alrighty, I think that's gonna do it for my tonight. I'm done with all the actual new painting on this chick. I know, don't be sexist. That's not being sexist. She's a girl. Okay, chick is sexist. Whatever. She's a tiefling. She don't care. They were chicks when they were born. Were tieflings born out of a womb or an egg? Dragonborn are out of eggs, right? They hatched. I don't know that. Don't ask me. I don't know. So the only thing I have left to do on her now are the highlights. I will do those on my next go around. I've got all of her colored, now I can start taking in some lighter colors and start bringing out making things pop a bit. See where she's at, having all of her basic stuff in place. She should be good. I'm going to take a break, go maybe eat some actual dinner. I thought about dinner earlier, but I just wasn't feeling the hunger that you kind of have to feel sometimes. So I always try I always try, if I remember, to take a progress photo. And then I have to take you with the actual camera. This app, as interesting as this app is, it's not great for photos. It takes really low quality, grainy photos. But what you can do, see, it's a little blurry actually, but that's probably my own fault. Not the clearest. Oh, those eyes are so much better than that. I'm going to try and take another picture. I don't know why I can't get this. Because these are actually pretty nice eyes, if I can get the picture right. Let's see if they're better. Still feel like it's blurry. I think I'm just, like am I not close enough? Yeah, see, that's totally blurry. Well, I don't know. Can this thing not take a close-up picture? I don't know. Get too close, and I would think it's not going to work at all, but I'll try. Whoa, that is totally not what I was trying to focus on. Still blurry. I don't know. Maybe it can't do it. Maybe it just is incapable of close-up shot. I do actually have a macro lens that might have a better shot at that. I have to figure out what I can do. Getting a close-up on a mini is not always a good thing because it does call out all the imperfections, which rest assured I have in my painting skills. Yeah, see, the eyes are so much nicer than that. And you can't see them. But oh well. For now, it'll work. It's just a progress photo. So we're going to go ahead and attach that here. All done. Till next time, take it easy. Bye.